Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica and today it's very hot. It's only like 82 degrees but I'm like sweating because I don't like warm weather. As you can see, I have plenty of fat storage to keep me warm, so yeah, I'm sweating like crazy right now. I've just put on some powder to reduce any shine because I'm also very greasy. And I was hoping it would work, but I think today it doesn't work. So anyways, I'm here to do my Pan That Palette update, and I've also, let me just get everything out of the way. Yes, this is my Pokemon collection, or like, I guess, plushie collection. I've heard that has a negative connotation, but I literally never, like, I don't know what it means. Like, why is the word plushie so bad? Anyways, like, stuffed toys, I guess. Like, I have Pikachu here, I have a Mew here, its ass is blue, because my pen was like staining it for days and I didn't know, and when I found out, it was a little bit too late to save it. So someone told me to just dye the whole thing this color because that's the color of shiny Mew anyways, so I don't know. I'm just sharing this, like, I guess, setup and proving to you guys, even though I say almost every single video, that I do film in a closet. And I need this set up for later, so I figured I would show you this angle, and then on my left side is my makeup desk and editing area and everything else. I'm getting out of breath. Anyways, so I did film this on Sunday, I believe, or Saturday. I filmed it on Sunday, and I had no idea what to say, like, because I didn't write down a script or anything. It was like my first time filming it, and usually I find if I don't like the first attempt, I would usually film something like halfway the first time, and then the second time I saved that video because I filmed it all the way through. My thoughts are more coherent, and I should really write a script so I don't waste so much time. But anyways, regarding my Pan That Palette, I was working on the Pixi and Tina Young Tones and Textures Feelin' Fresh palette, and it is a 25 pan, I think it's limited edition palette, and I'll just post quickly what I've like done so far, but I don't know if the numbers even matter at this point because, to be honest, I am not sick of this palette. I just had a heartbreaking experience the other week, or earlier this week, last week, I don't know, sometime in March, where my favorite lip gloss, or one of my favorite lip glosses, which is discontinued, expired on me, and then I was like, oh, well shit, makeup does expire, and I'll just show you my progress on this right now. I'm glad I am refilming this because I do have pan. I hit it this morning, so yay. As you can see, if I keep working on it, I'm sure this powder would have like a giant pan in a few days' time. But this is what the rest of my palette looks like. It's like a very big palette, so it's very hard to get used out of like all the shades in here. And there's many shades I haven't touched for 2 months. But like I said, when I put this palette in, and whenever I mention this palette, it is not my favorite. When I first put this into this project, I did not like it that much. I was like, what have I gotten myself into? And then over time, I did start to like it. But now, after realizing that my favorite lip gloss has expired, I'm realizing that I should not be wasting my time on things that I think are just mediocre. And I think I've punished myself enough by trying to pan this. I have like these colors in my collection a million times over. That's a lie. I do not have a million eyeshadows. That would be very, very irresponsible. But I am probably going to be decluttering this palette. I did hit pan, so that makes me feel a lot better. There's multiple reasons why. Like I said, it's not my favorite. I think it's just okay, and I have palettes in my collection that are much older than this that I want to get use out of. Another thing is that when I close this palette, the like little silicone seal around the like closure does not work. So you heard me close it, right? There, you heard it, right? My hand is shaking, what the heck? But like, look at that. It doesn't stay shut, like, it's broken. So I am probably going to be decluttering this, and for those of you who have seen my makeup rehab update or intro, I will be counting the one pan I hit in here. I was debating keeping my 2 favorite shades from here, or not favorite, like the 2 shades I enjoyed, which were these 2, for like setting my shade. It's like the best lid setting shade I've found so far because this palette is so unpigmented, and it does fade throughout the day, but when it fades, it's like, it wasn't very pigmented to begin with, which is why I liked the way that this worked for setting my lid, because it would provide an even base, and then throughout the day as it fades, it's not as obvious as more pigmented eyeshadows. And then I realized I could just do that with setting powder, so goodbye. But I do want to work on another palette. I found out earlier today, or actually earlier this week, maybe even last week, that my company is going to be doing hybrid telework, is what they call it. So old-fashioned, but I'm going to be going into the office a few days a week, not every single day, but like maybe 2 or 3 times a week. So I have to meet people, and that means I cannot wear like bright yellows, bright neons. I don't think I have any neons, but you know, like, I can't wear super colorful eyeshadows. So I also have to pick something that would work for me. So, well, fully knowing that, so I decided to go with Norvina. I got this for half off, I think, and of course, I decided to, I used to not like ABH because I thought they were fast fashion, which they were for a period of time under Norvina, but then I believe they sold their company, and now, you know, the releases are a lot more slow. And then I found out like a couple weeks ago, that Anastasia, the brand founder, kind of aligns herself with like pro-Russia people. I don't know if they're celebrities, but like people on Twitter who do have some form of influence because they do have a large following on Twitter. And so I would rather not have this in my collection. Right when I was thinking about adding more ABH, I think I own this palette and like a sample size eyebrow pencil because, well, luckily they were cheap, so I don't really have to work that hard to use it up. But this, I think I would have to work a little bit harder. As you can see, mine is barely used, which is, you know, always great. But from what I've used, this palette is much more pigmented than the Pixi palette, and you need a lot less. So even though I've like heard ABH is notorious for being like easy to hit pan on, that's not been the case for me. I feel like I use way less of this than like say Too Faced because it's just so powdery and I don't want to lose the product as well. I do really like the shades Rose Gold and Dazzling. I haven't used every single shade in this palette. It's very obvious. Like, I haven't used a lot of the bottom row. It's mostly the top row. And I think that there's a lot of shades in here that can be great for one and done, like Dazzling, Rose Gold, Summer. I'm not sure if Dreamer will work for me because it is a little bit lighter and it is getting warmer where I live. Well, it's getting warmer everywhere in the northern hemisphere, so I'm just talking out of my ass, but I want to work on this as much as possible. ABH also does, oh wait, 18 months on this. I thought it was 6. They used to have a really short shelf life for their palettes, and I want to get as much use out of this as possible. I believe I do have a lot of these shades in my collection, but this does tend to expire faster than like Too Faced, which I have a lot of palettes from. And so I want to get work on this first and then not have it in my collection because, man, they were starting to turn things around and then they really messed up. So this is going to be my new Panda palette for 2022. I still think it's 2021, which it is definitely not. And I'm looking forward to seeing dips on this, which I'm sure is going to be very slow because I've probably used this like a handful of times. Anyways, that's going to be everything for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next month. Bye!